Yeah, definitely frustration. Yeah, a little disappointed in how we sort of gifted that game away, as you all know.
What changed in the second half? Was it their pressure? Did that change that stopped you being able to get the ball up the floor and like execute as well as you liked, or was it their offensive rebounding? What were the big factors for you?
Well, clearly, if you look at the stat line, you know that the turnover count, that wasn't in the back, all in the backcourt, that was in the front court. Offensive rebounding, that gave them an extra 20 shots, which anyone that gets 20 shots, that's a pretty good lead to start with. Though we did a good job of almost three quarters of doing the little things that got us the lead and kept us in front. So yeah.
You don't want to make excuses, but the fact that you're without Mitch, your number one ball handler, and then both Tad and Sunday fouled out late in the game, how much did that hurt not having their ball handling late?
It always hurts, like when you've got guys that can handle the ball and run your team, and when you go deeper in your bench, you ask any team. It's not. I'm not saying it's not doable, but it's definitely you would love to have those guys on the floor.
How tough is it while you're sitting there right now, knowing that you probably should have won that game but didn't? How are you feeling right now?
I feel fine. I feel like we got to prepare for another game. Like I said, I've played enough games myself, but for the guys where we're at in this part of the season, hasn't been an ideal run for us, not only on the floor but off the floor. But it's stuff that you've got to deal with and put in context. But it's about how you bounce back. And I feel like from COVID to playing the Wildcats, I thought we bounced back pretty well. And then we've had our lapses. Obviously, not having a whole lot of training under our belt showed. And the more games you play and the deeper you go in that short period of time, it's showing. So now we've got to clean up, but we also got to be mentally tough and make some better decisions along the way.
I know you keep getting asked similar questions, but how huge was the man next to you again tonight?
I'll let you. He was great, big time. I know what I'm getting every time he steps on the floor. He's been amazing.
Cam, I know playing well personally isn't going to mean much. How frustrating is it that you couldn't quite close that game?
Yeah, it's obviously frustrating when you see a game that was clearly winnable and up at halftime by 6. And I think it was the same, going into the final quarter and then just letting it get away from us due to, offensive rebounding and basically executing on offense as well. So, it's always going to be frustrating, but we've got another game in 2 days, so it'll be another opportunity to bounce back.
I'll jump in. Hey, this is Joseph from the NBA Pocket Podcast. My question is for CJ. I forget when it was. I think it was sometime in maybe the third quarter. You called a timeout. You were struggling to get your players to pay attention. You were saying, listen, you have to say it a couple of times. And then, the team comes out, gives up rebounds, turnovers. Is this an attentive issue? And can you talk us through that timeout and why you felt you had to, really shout for discipline?
Well, I just saw that at that point that their focus for where it was at in the game, and players look away all the time, or you're either in your own feelings, thinking about where you're at. At this point in time, I just need everyone to pay attention to what I was drawing up and what I wanted to talk about, and have everyone's attention. So to know that they were all locked in, that's what I wanted.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's Fraser from AAP. Todd Withers had a bit of a quiet night. We saw some visible frustration for him. Did he feel like he was not getting looks out there or getting the ball when he should have? What did you see out there?
I thought as the game was flowing, we had a pretty good lead and a game plan. Yeah, he didn't get the shots that he wanted. Sometimes, as you know, that's how it works. But could he have done more for us? Yeah, definitely. And could he got more touches? Sure.
Dusty also carried the offense a bit there with his scoring. What did you make of his performance tonight in comparison to the season thus far?
Well, I thought he got out on the floor and he was very aggressive from the jump. I think he needs to keep finding ways to score and keep doing it within the system. But there's times where, like any great player, can put on the deck and be able to go and create plays as well, as he's done before.
Oh, sorry, a question I forgot about. CJ, Mohamed King, there's a kid who 2 years ago had a big NBA high tonight, shot an air ball, didn't get these minutes. What's the future of his development and career with you guys?
To be honest, it's just him growing every day, right? So obviously we haven't had, as I said before, we haven't had a lot of practices fitting in at this point in time. Could I have played him a little more? Definitely. It's still within the group. My job is also trying to win ball games, and yeah, I know it's frustrating for him, and I want to see him do well, as everyone does. And at different times, trying to put him in spots where he can go be successful as well and create opportunities as well. Got to keep working.
Cam, just one question for you. We saw Kai Soto get a lot of attention on the glass tonight, and he seemed to perform pretty well. Have you taken him under your wing, so to speak, and given him some insight and some tips as to how to improve his game? Because he had a pretty decent performance for you guys tonight.
Yeah, Kai's been awesome, and I think you've seen the growth every game. Had a bit of an injury coming into the season, which is obviously tough, but each and every game he gets better, and he can change the game with his length and his size, and I think he's going to be a great player, and he keeps, he's keen to learn, he works hard, and I think he's just going to get better and better as the season goes on.
Thank you.
Sorry, I keep forgetting to ask all my questions at once. Another one for CJ. That shot from, I don't know if anyone asked it earlier, apologies that I have. That late shot from Dusty Hannah's quarter-court wasn't perhaps the highest percentage shot. What was your take on that play?
Yeah, it's not a high percentage shot, but it's Dusty Hannon's, and I've seen him shoot a few balls that far away and seen him make quite a few of them.
So you were happy with it?
Not here to say it's a bad shot, but Dusty Hannon's shooting it. I would have preferred a better shot than that, but he shot it. I can't go on the floor and tell him to take it back or to take this shot. This is what happens as you keep playing.
Thanks again.
You're welcome.